The Yemeni crisis is among one of the deadliest conflicts globally today. It has been reported that it says more than 11,000 children are known to have been killed or wounded as a direct result of the fighting. Yemen has also suffered from one of the largest cholera outbreaks ever recorded, with 2.5 million suspected cases and about 4,000 related deaths since 2016. Historically, Yemen has not had many wars or conflicts with countries outside of its own. It has been through numerous civil wars, including those in 1962, 1986, 1994, and insurgency that started in 2004, which has led the country to the civil war they are currently fighting. Since 2014, Yemen has been through a brutal civil war between Shiite rebels, the Houthis, with links to Iran, and a history of disagreements with the traditionally Sunni government of Yemen. The rebel group took control of the country's capital, Sana'a, and demanded lower fuel prices and a new Shiite government due to the rising cost of fuel. Additionally, the military division played a substantial role in starting this conflict. Some units stayed loyal to Adi Abdullah Saleh, who assumed power in 1978, while some saw joining the Houthis as more fulfilling and better for their country. Due to this insurrection, the conflict turned into a proxy war, leading to Saudi Arabia becoming involved, which then led to Iran joining the conflict. The war saw some hope, as in April 2022, there was a truce that has resulted in a stoppage of full-blown warfare for some time. This was in part due to the peace talks led by the Saudis, which breakthroughs have not yet been achieved. This conflict has put a horrible stain on Yemen's population, both economically and socially. According to Alaya Agajanian and Gianluca Millet, the Yemeni economy has been split in two, the IRG-controlled region and the Houthi-controlled region. Both regions are unfortunately in a food shortage, and the links between this war and a famine are as clear as day. As it was recently reported, Iran is pulling their forces out of Yemen due to the U.S.'s airstrikes. Hopefully, this recall of forces from Iran will lead to the conflict ending for the greater good of the nation. Maybe with U.S. intervention, the war-torn country of Yemen will be allowed to take valuable steps towards peace and stability. An estimated 4.5 million people are currently displaced. Those who are not able to leave struggle with lack of food supplies, and those who are left live in famine-like conditions. Before the current civil war this country is going through, pre-2014, Yemen's economy was already not in a good place, ranking 184th globally. The country already had a vast history of corruption, financial crises, and food insecurity. Grace Easterly from the Yemen Peace Project explains, after peaking in 2002, oil output began to decline, while the government continued to report budget deficits. So, an economy dependent on a particular resource experiences a decline in the input or the output and has no other economic resources other than natural gas. Due to this, the Yemeni government already has economic strain before this conflict started, and due to previous civil wars, lacks crucial infrastructure to rebuild or settle into another form of export to boost their economy. Fast forward to their current situation, the country is still plagued by economic mistakes. Local politicians battle for control of resources to distribute, to reward their supporters, and add to their own coffers. Due to this selfish use of power, parties involved in the conflict are continuing to deny the delivery of aid, imposing bureaucratic constraints to delay the process of helping those involved. Another reason humanitarian efforts are being delayed are the airstrikes carried out by U.S. forces. These strikes make it dangerous for humanitarian workers to get into the area and hold a valuable position to carry out their mission. Another process of slowing down humanitarian efforts is the requirement of humanitarian organizations to inform the Houthi de facto authorities about their media advocacy and projects the organization is planning to enact, which then must be approved by the Supreme Council. Increasing humanitarian efforts has increased the vulnerability of children and women in the area who are already affected by exploitation, violence, and labor. Around 11 million children need um, need humanitarian assistance, and the effort to help them are only getting more difficult to enact. The number of refugees in the area has been steadily increasing since the beginning of the war. According to the UN Refugee Agency, more than 4.5 million Yemenis, or 14% of the population, remain internally displaced. Most of them have been displaced multiple times over a number of years. The majority of these refugees are going to Europe, with the Netherlands and Germany being the front runners for letting the most refugees seek asylum in their country. These refugees are traveling more than 3,000 miles to get away from this disastrous conflict. Recently, the U.S. has sent money to Yemen to assist the stabilization of communities in the area. So, there is something to be said about generosity towards those in need. Millions of dollars have been given to the Yemeni population to help them in their time of need in this dire situation. While war has been seen in this country for about as long as their population can remember, there is still hope that this conflict will end and the people of Yemen can live a life of peace and stability.